welcome Omari Hardwick.
Wow. Hey, look at this show, man. I need my water right away.
You need your water. You know, I think it's very
Cheers,
rare.
guys.
Look at, yes.
Cheers.
It really is very rare that a person can take a character and make it so yummy that it stays with us for years, even when you're gone. This is like, I remember, Omari, Power was appointment television for me. I never missed every episode.
Thank you,
but how do you feel? Because we still call you Ghost.
Yeah,
you know.
do.
How do you feel
you do.
knowing that this was a role that meant so much to us?
It's beyond words humbling. You know what I mean? Like humbling in a way that you think about the moments where grandma takes you to church growing up. For those of us who know what that's like, grandma spanking you, popping your hand because you're making too much noise in church.
Yeah.
But then you find a moment in church when she put that peppermint in your hand and you're like, okay, I got a peppermint now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you find that moment where you do dial in. And sometimes, Sherri, in that moment as an 8-year-old in church, you go, God, did you make me different? And you don't really know when that question of rhetoric and or direct manner to God is gonna be answered. And there were moments when the fan base, in terms of the crave for not just the beautiful show that Power was, but for my character.
Yeah.
When that happens, you go back to being 8 years old and you go, okay, God, I got you. I got you. So just another level of humbling. And the fact that you could say it was an appointment TV show, you're a busy woman, you got a lot of things to do.
No, I never missed.
So the fact that you was like,
yes, absolutely.
Speaking of church, I would hear pastors say, yo, I gotta get home Sunday night, I gotta do my thing. I was like, wow, that's something else, man.
Because there was something that you did with this character, and at the same time, you want always providing for your family. Your family was always number one. I think that was something that struck me too. It was all about keeping my family together, my children. So, but another thing, I wish they could have just gave you an Emmy for them sex scenes that you did, Omari. Like, I think you should have won. I think you should have been nominated.
For just that?
Period. Like, you are an incredible actor, but I'm not gonna lie. Them sex scenes did something to me in my loins. Omari, what is the secret to making them so memorable?
That's freaking hard.
It was hard. Yeah, what?
I shouldn't have said freaking, y'all. Like, don't say that word.
No, you can say freaking. It's all right, but like, they were hard for you to do. You look so passionate in them.
It's, someone said, yes. Hercules.
Like, what did it take to you made it look like every woman wanted to be that woman. Like, how
You laughing too hard.
when you did those scenes,
That's
like,
the producer, y'all. He laughing too hard. For me, Sherri, you know what it was?
What?
I was able to, I definitely think it's hard. You got 8 people, if not more than 8.
Of course.
Camera lighting.
Yes.
You got touch up, makeup. You got hair. You got whomever has the robe awaiting, particularly the female actor.
Yes.
But I think for me, and I think about that now, and I'm like, man, I really was taking care of Leela and Naturi because we came out of that in the midst of the Me Too movement.
Right.
And I really, like, Mama would be proud because it meant I was really respecting them and taking care of them. But the irony was, it was so uncomfortable.
Really?
And yet I made you feel that I was so comfortable
Yes.
that if I'm to win any Emmy, maybe I should have won for the sex scene.
I'm not taking away from your acting. But y'all remember that camera would be on Ghost in his eyes as he looked at you. You could lift anybody and put him on the windowsill. I don't know what. But Omari, I have...
Shout outs to all the college football coaches who made me stand and wait.
It was, you know, I just remember...
Well, I wore this for you, Sherri.
Thank you so much. Look at you. What you got on? The Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost.
I wore it for you, Sherri.
And now you have squashed every lustful feeling in my body.
Is it over?
You said the Holy Ghost.
I had to put holy in front of it.
You had to put holy in front of it.
Just to keep you honest.
Because my mind was already in the sinful mode. You better stop. I remember, Omari, we were both in the movie Beauty Shop together.
We were.
You and I were in Beauty Shop together.
Yes, we were.
We sure were in this movie. And I remember you played Keisha Knight Pulliam's boyfriend in the movie. Now, it was Cleo versus Ghost over here. Both of these big ones.
That's it.
Now, did you learn anything from Queen Latifah when we both did that movie?
That you did, right?
She gave me so much great advice.
So Queen La said to me, one step at a time. And that was one of the first weeks on set. Sherri was on set a lot longer than me, guys. I was in and out. I took a picture of the little honey wagon I had, makeshift trailer. My little name was on there. That was enough for me.
Yeah.
Sherri was on the comedic circuit, rocking and rolling, had such a unique voice for comedy.
Oh, thank you, Omari.
Such a unique spirit, smile, the eyes of an 8-year-old. But I remember Queen being the Queen Bee.
Yes, absolutely.
On you know, and as you know, Sherri, my middle name is Latif, and there's no bigger Latifah than the Queen Latifah. And so the thing that stood out most to me was maybe about week 2, she said to me, one step at a time. And what I heard her saying was, long career, buddy. Long journey ahead.
That's right.
Just one step at a time. Don't get too up. Don't let people take you too low. And I just think, you know, shout outs to New Jersey. She's phenomenal.
Absolutely, she is.
She
Absolutely, Jersey. You constantly work. You know, it's not only Ghost. We've seen you in so many things, and I want to congratulate you because you were nominated for your first Grammy for it was spoken word poetry album. Ooh. Spoken word. Like, what does that mean to you?
That makes me feel sexy, shawty.
I love spoken word. Let me tell you something.
The sex scene ain't doing it. That's doing it for me.
The spoken word.
No, just the fact that music was, because, Sherri, I never was afraid to walk around the cafeteria. Always confident. I knew where to get back to. The cafeteria table colored us. So we are not often, not that it didn't occur when we were young, as in somebody who was doing tap over here, singing over here, acting over here, could equally try something even more foreign than what they were already doing that was diverse. Sammy Davis unapologetically did everything.
He did.
And I think our great-grandparents, or great-great-great-grandparents really rooted for that. I had struggled for a lot of my career at having all these colors that God gave me. Speaking of starting in the church, where we all started, and then having people push them out of bed, I'm like, God gave me these things. And so for me, it always was, whatever I can do, my main objective is to have young people, mostly young women, young boys who look like me and you, Sherri, to go, if O could do it, ... if O could do it. And so for me to be nominated on first Concrete and Whiskey, first time putting out a studio album, in a world I put food on the table, and that being of acting proportion, to your point, there's never been an Emmy knocking. There's never been a Golden Globe or a Tony knocking. Never been an Oscar knocking. And not that I feel I've earned, you know, that door being knocked on, but for the world, including black people, to not know me musical, but to then have to embrace, yo, not only is he musical, but the Academy said he was worthy of being nominated.
I'm telling you, that,
like,
yes.
That for me is...
It's interesting because you talk about young boys and girls being able to look at you and go, if O did it. And that's what I'm looking at. And now you're a part of the Star Trek universe. You are You are now a part of it. It's Star Trek Section 31.
Section 31.
Can you tell, right now, I want to go see it because your character, can you tell us about the movie?
Sherri, look at that. How you do that for me, girl?
I don't know.
How y'all do that?
But look, how is this? Tell me, what can you tell me about the movie?
So the movie is, I can tell you a little bit. Let me see how creative I can get, Sherri. The movie is, what's beautiful about it, how many Trekkies in here?
A lot of Trekkies.
Okay.
Yeah. We got the Trekkie going on,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so for any of you who didn't raise your hand, you don't have to have watched any prior Star Trek to be able to not only watch and follow this, but to enjoy it. That's what's cool about it. I do believe, Sherri, that speaking of knocking on your door, I believe that Alex Kurtzman, the incredible people at Secret Hideout, which is his company, Paramount Plus, now Skydance, over it.
Yeah.
Olatunde, the director, I do believe they were knocking and going, your fan base, all those people who adore you, we want them to come over to this world. And so what was so humbling was, from the moment you and I saw Avery Brooks to LeVar Burton to Nichols being the first interracial kiss, and she played that character, there's this moment where you go, man, I really now am on the circuit, and I get to go to these Comic-Cons, and I get to bring home a bag, not of cash, but of fanship that I never would have thought that in my life of starting this career, I never would have seen myself in something like this. And so it's so humbling to realize that God had a plan, a different plan.
I love Michelle Yeoh. I love you. Like, are you out there fighting and doing? You doing a lot of physical?
Yeah, put that picture back up.
Can you put that picture back up? Can y'all put?
That's a fight. That's
So now,
I know some stuff.
like you said, you're gonna be going to Comic-Con. You got a whole new fan base. You got the Trekkies.
The Trekkies.
Have you mastered the salute? Because I've been watching.
I'm not as good as you. It's close enough, I guess.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
You definitely got it, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you in this.
Oh, Sherri,
I want to see more of you because
this is the third season of this show.
This is the third.
It took me 3 years to get on the show.
And I'm so glad.
Sherri, let me tell you something. You're gonna have to kick me off from this point on.
I love you, Omari. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy. Anytime you are on a screen, whether it's big or small, there's something within you that just fills it up. And I don't know what it is God has gifted you with, but you get in our hearts and our minds, and you stay there. Oh. You don't leave. So I love you. I love you so much. Y'all, Star Trek Section 31.
Friday.
It premieres on Paramount Plus Friday, January 24th. Put that in your head.